All right, this is day 3 on the Diverge demo. Just getting started today. I am 6.64 miles into the ride today. Happens to be the same tree I stopped at 2 days ago, but just because it's a good spot to stop. Anyway, I have about 50 miles on the bike so far. A couple thoughts. Definitely, faster than a mountain bike on the road, slower than a mountain bike off-road. That goes without saying. I think tire choice is going to make a big difference. Right now, this is the stock carbon wheel set with 38C tires with tubes, aired up to 55 PSI. On the road, it's pretty good. I think if you went with a narrower slick, you can make it biased more towards the road. With this gearing, with the 42 tooth in the front, I mean, I think I could, you could go maybe 30 miles an hour, give or take a little bit on the flats without a tailwind. But if you did a little bit narrower tire, aired up a bit more, you might be able to hang with some slower group road bike rides. Compared to my last gravel bike, which was a Cannondale Topstone 105 Shimano aluminum frame set, this is better on the downhills. The Future Shock makes a big difference. It's lighter. On the climbs, it's a bit better as well, but I think mainly due to the weight and stiffness, even with 2 full water bottles right now and a full squat cage. But my last Cannondale bike was $1,750 retail, I believe, and this is $6,700 retail. So I'm not sure it's worth the difference in price unless you're doing a lot of gravel racing and that sort of thing. It's a fun bike, but the more I ride it, might be leaning away from this build. But I'm going to put in a longer ride today before making my final opinion. All right, time to get back on the bike. Okay, third ride on the Diverge continues. Just climbed up Montebello Road. We're at 14.34 miles into the ride. The last 4+ miles have been a pretty steep climb. You can see we're up here above Silicon Valley. Can't totally see, but the Apple spaceship campus is straight down there. Anyway, Diverge, really good climbing bike. For a gravel bike, it was fast up the hill, felt efficient. But if I was really into climbing as fast as possible on the road, I think I'd want a road bike like the new Tarmac SL7. So all bikes are kind of on a continuum. I think this bike is kind of between the Tarmac SL7 and something like the Specialized Epic Hardtail. So it just kind of depends on what you're going for. But more thoughts after the ride. All right, down to my last 10 miles on the third day of the Diverge demo at 22.5 miles today. So I think this is a great bike, great gravel bike. Does well downhill, does well climbing. It's pretty comfortable. It's versatile with the ability to run all different tire sizes, wheel sizes. That being said, I'm mainly a mountain biker, and I enjoy being in the dirt a lot more than being on the road around cars. So I think it just depends on what percentage you're on the road versus the dirt. And so for me, after riding this for 3 days, even though I've had one of these on order since the first week that they came out, I haven't been able to get it yet because they've been not available. But I decided that I'm going to switch my order. Instead of getting the Diverge, I'm going to go with the Epic Hardtail. So the Epic Hardtail will obviously be slower on the road. I'm going to put a 36 tooth chainring on it, so it'll have 36 and then 1050 cassette in the back. So it'll be slower on the road, keep the knobby tires, but it'll be faster in the dirt, more comfortable in the dirt for me. And then the positioning will carry over more to my mountain bike. On this bike, for better or worse, after riding it, my hamstrings are more sore than normal, just because I'm leaning forward more with a more stretched out position. It also tends to not be as comfortable on my neck for the long flat rides. I feel more comfortable on this bike going uphill or downhill. It's definitely fast on the flats, but just the stretched out cockpit doesn't feel as good to me as my mountain bike. And then if I wanted to be stretched out and be as fast as possible on the road, I think I'd rather have a road bike. Like the Tarmac SL7 looks pretty sweet if you're into road bikes. But this, you know, there's no right or wrong bike. Every bike has pros and cons, but I'm glad I was able to demo this for the last 3 days. It pushed me over the edge to go epic hardtail. I'll still have 2 bottle cages inside the triangle. I could hold my tube and all that stuff either in my pack or strap it to the frame. I'll probably just stick with a rigid post on the Epic. So it'll be a few pounds heavier than this, but more comfortable for me, better in the dirt, better carry over to the mountain bike, a little slower on the road. But I'm not trying to keep up with road bikers on the road. Anyway, fun bike. If you're looking for a gravel bike, I would definitely consider the Diverge. It's pretty cool. All right, see ya.